the Revolutionary War and such. So we're going to start a new unit today. That's going to be what does the nation do now? So they need to form a government, right? So we're going to do a little pre-assessment. We're going to see what you guys know already, what you guys don't. It's not going to be too long. She's got 15 questions, 13 multiple choice, 2 short answer. Go ahead and log in. Whenever you're done with it, just put your Chromebooks back for me, all right?
You don't have to write down. As you finish with your Chromebook second part, and get your composition notebook out.
roads are given to you now. It's a piece of paper that will go into your composition notebook. Whenever you're done putting in your notebook, go ahead and put it back in the box, all the glue and such, close the box until you're done. Everybody done? Yes? Alright, so the Revolutionary War just ended. About the form of government. What are some things that you believe the colonies, or actually they're now states, don't want to see whenever they form the new government? Like what was concerned them during the Revolutionary War? Like why did the Revolutionary War begin? What are some causes of that? Anyone? Go ahead. Taxes. Taxes is a big reason. Anyone else? No. There might be some concerns they might have. No one? Go ahead.
That their government would go back to how England's government works, where there's one big person in power, and they decided most everything.
Exactly. Alright. So things they're gonna be like trying to avoid, like reasons like this started and everything, is that they want to avoid taxes, because that's kind of like a big thing. Well, not necessarily avoid them, but they don't want the government to be how it used to be, alright? And so what we're going over now is the Carl Articles of Confederation, which is what took place when they did form the government. Why do we need a government? Very basic question. Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead. Some sort of rule. Go ahead.
So they don't spy out and control?
Yes. Anyone else? No. Alright. So what would happen without any organized kind of government? So what would happen if we didn't have a government at all? Jackson.
There would be a lot more crimes.
A lot more crimes. Go ahead.
Anarchy.
Anarchy. I was told last class, have you all seen The Purge?
No.
Yes.
The movie? Never seen it? Total anarchy. It's basically what would happen, alright? And so here, their goal, what we kind of already discussed as well, is most afraid of forming the government. Is that would be like the last one. They didn't want a king that they would have. They didn't want to get rid of one tyrant. They have to have another one that they just form a new government. And so doing away with the one tyrant, they want to have to deal with one that they make themselves. So it really wouldn't make any sense. Be kind of counterproductive, you know. 1776, Continental Congress passed a plan for a national government called the Articles of Confederation. You guys don't really have to be taking notes on this. I'll tell you when you have to when it gets to that point, right? National government would be run by the Continental Congress. All the states approved the Articles of Confederation in 1781 and became the official government. What's significant about that? That all the states approved the Articles of Confederation. Anyone? Go ahead.
Means that everyone agreed on it,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of rare.
And so what we're going to learn later on is that like it wouldn't last very long, but they realized that there's a need to do something, so everyone did agree because there had to be something in place for them to go on after having being separated from England. All right. National government could wage war, make peace, sign treaties, and issue money. Articles of Confederation left most of the power to the states themselves. Why could this be problematic? So instead of the national government, like the president and Congress and such, having the power to do most things that we know that they do today, instead, most of that power would be in the states alone. Why would that be chaos? Go ahead.
Because if you like go to another state, you don't know the rules.
Exactly. Anyone else? So different laws, one state to another. What if one state wanted something, but the other state didn't? Like, say they had a treaty with some other foreign nation. Could that be problematic? Because they couldn't agree? Articles created a very weak national government. It had very many weaknesses. Can't really see weaknesses because dude, his little pump on right there. But the fact that it had a very weak national government would be very problematic for it in the entailing days. All right, so weakness number one, this is where you write down in your composition notebook. Lack the power to enforce laws. Why would this be a problem? Let's hear from the front half of the room. Anyone? So they have laws, but they don't have any power to enforce them. Why is that problematic? Problematic means it causes problems.
Why is that negative? Say that the United States is a brand new country. The United States has a rule that you can't go into another state and kill somebody, but they don't have any power to enforce that rule. Why would that be a problem?
Right.
No one to enforce that certain law.
No one to enforce it. So they have no power to back it up. It's like someone saying, all right, you can't do this, but I can't really stop you from doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, you can't go to Carolina and sell tomatoes, or if you do, I'm going to give you more taxes. That's the problem, right? But they didn't really have a way to enforce that, which in the articles themselves, which we'll do later, we'll see is why they can't do that. But that's the main problem, is because they couldn't enforce the laws, all right? They lacked the power to levy taxes. Does everyone here know what levy means? No? They lack the power to raise taxes. Levy is just another word for raising taxes. Now, why is this one a problem? Go ahead.
Because if like they didn't pay taxes, the government would have no money.
Exactly. And so they can have all these great ideas that they have in mind, like, you know, we're going to build all this stuff for you guys in the States, but we have no money to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like just another wishful thinking type deal where they would like to do it, but they have the money to do it. It's almost kind of ties in with lack of power to enforce laws. It's like another hollow.
Hollow promise.
There we go. Hollow promises. Didn't get that one.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Think about, okay, blacks have power to levy taxes, raise taxes. When Great Britain and the French fought each other in the French and Indian War, how did Great Britain pay for that war? What'd they do?
Tax them.
They taxed who? They call us because war is very expensive, right? There's lots and lots of money that goes into a war. Well, brand new country, America is a brand new country. Didn't we just fight a war? What war was that? Isn't war expensive? So how are we going to pay back our expenses for the American Revolutionary War if we can't tax anybody? Are we going to be very poor? Do you want to be a very poor nation if you're a brand new nation? No, right? So that's going to be a huge issue. We can't pay back our debt that we occurred during the American Revolutionary War because we can't tax anybody. We don't have any way to raise that money. Good conversation.
Weakness number 3, could not regulate trade between the states. Now, why would this one be a problem? Go ahead.
Certain people wouldn't have food, and other people would have food.
If you can hear what she said, certain people have food, certain people wouldn't have money and such like that. So it's very hard to regulate what goes in and out of one state to another. Anyone else? Jackson.
Well, if one state is like giving you more money for the item and you have to sell it to the one state that has less money, then you're going to be mad.
And so if they can't regulate trade, what's to stop one state from overpricing one item to one state but not the other? Does that one state is being overpriced because they're going to be cheated? Yes. Is that going to create a union, which everyone wants to be a union when they're becoming a new country, so they want everyone to be friendly. It's not be very friendly if I know that I'm being overpriced for, let's go with tomatoes again. If I'm paying $3 per one tomato, and then another state's paying $1 for a different tomato, is that gonna be a problem? Yes. They're gonna be cheated, you know? Weakness number 4, all 13 states had to vote yes to change articles. Big problem. Why? Go ahead.
Because one state didn't agree to something that they desperately needed, they couldn't pass it.
Exactly. Y'all know what the United Nations is? Yes, no, some of y'all, kinda. So United Nations is basically this, except on a global scale. That's why a lot of people have quarrels in the United Nations, because they feel like nothing ever gets done, because if one person says no, you can't really do it, you know? And so say one state needs funds, but doesn't really benefit a different state, and so that one state says no. Is that gonna cause a rift between the states? Yes, it's not gonna be very good at all. The 13 states? So, Revolutionary War, you have 13 colonies, right? You know those, the original 13 colonies? Yeah? So the 13 colonies just became 13 states.
Just change, they're no longer colonies, because colonies belong to which country? England. Does the states now belong to any country? They won their independence, so they no longer belong to one country, now they become a brand new country.
Alright. Other weaknesses included no military, no president, no national court system, no national control over trade with other countries. Alright, and there's really no spot for you to write this down. So why would no military be an issue? You couldn't fight?
Slaves are vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Why would having the military be very important right now? Because we just finished the war.
The tax running, the tax from our country.
Exactly. Do you want to appear, like how she's saying, do you want to appear poor or rich? Do you want to appear weak or strong? You want to be strong, right? So not having military is kind of like, doesn't really make sense, because it makes it easy for other people to come in and just take what they just lost. Yeah? No president. Why is this a problem? Good. No one to lead the country. More chaos, more anarchy. But why would they not want a president?
They be the states, why do they not want a president?
Because the president can overuse his power.
Overuse his power and be a lot like who? The king. Who was the king that they just got away from? King George the Third. Sweet. Alright, so no national court system. Why is that a problem?
Is that the people that
What was that?
is that the people that like ask the questions to have laws?
Sort of. It's more along the lines, alright, so you get arrested, what do you do before you go to jail?
You go to court.
You go to court, right? And so if there's no national court system, what happens?
You're automatically guilty.
It's kind of like not right, right? Not right, right? So you get arrested for some time, you have no due process or anything, you go straight to jail. You kind of feel like you don't have any rights, you know? No national control over trade with other countries. Why is this one a problem? Go ahead.
You won't get the resources which you need, but you don't have.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Whatever stuff would be gone.
Also be gone? Alright, so with no national control over trade with other countries, say that Georgia trades with one country, but it doesn't really benefit a different state and such. And so now the national government can't regulate who does and does not trade with what country. Is that a problem? Yes. Articles of Confederation become a temporary solution. It is really more of just a band-aid. Like they knew something needed to be done now, and so they kind of just do something together and try and have something in place wherever the war was over, and that they knew they needed some type of government. And so it was more like a band-aid instead of like getting stitches and having a permanent replacement. That's it. All right, time for activity time. Miss Rhodes, if you would. And so here's another piece of paper that's going to go into your composition notebook for you guys to take notes.
I'm also gonna do more.
And everyone, if you don't know, my lovely assistant back there is the other co-teacher, Miss Rhodes. She's going to help me out a lot.
These ones are not These are the ones that go in your notebook, and then these are for you to use to have the power to.
I get that glued in?
Yes.
A small sheet goes in your notebook, your organizer.
That's fine. So the same thing as last time, once you get everything put into your composition notebook, we put the glue sticks back in the box and close it for me, so you're done. Jackson, will you go take two? Take two. There you go. Alright, so everyone have it? Yes? Alright, so what we're going to be doing now is actually going over the Articles of Confederation itself. We're going to be dissecting it and find out the different state powers, different national government powers. You're going to be restating the weaknesses, alright? And so if you look at the top of your paper you just put in there, it says Confederation. Can anyone tell me what a confederation is? Freedom? Awesome. Go ahead.
Like a union of states.
Okay, yes. Anyone else? No? Alright, so if Miss Potter was so kindly, there you go.
Man and white over here.
That is what the Confederation is. It's a group of states united under a weak government. Alright, so you guys have heard, obviously, the Civil War, right? You guys heard of it?
The Civil War,
I know
we
you've
went
heard
to
of Civil
Munfordville
War.
Days in August or September.
What? The Civil War?
What's the Civil War, Xander? You know better.
Alright, so I know you guys know at least something. And whenever they split, then we had the United States and then you had the Confederate States of America. Confederate would be under this, a group of states that unite under a weak government. Go ahead.
It wouldn't sound, the United States name would fit if it was split into two.
Exactly. And so with it being the Confederate States of America is very weak. And something you have to realize is that the Articles of Confederation have lasting ramifications. With it being the Civil War, like I said, the Confederate States of America, that's because they believed in strong state powers over the national powers. Alright? And so on that top space right there where it says Confederation, you should be writing a group of states united under a weak government. And that's what's so significant about understanding what the Articles of Confederation is that to understand how America's government is today, you need to understand the process that it went through to get there. And like I said, it does have lasting ramifications because this does have a lasting effect to where people like the idea of a stronger states government versus national government, which you'll learn at a later date. You ever have it down? Yes? Alright. And so now we're going to be going over the actual Articles of Confederation. Could someone read out the preamble for me? Yeah. Do you have a question or you want to read? Go ahead.
For everyone to read this document, we the undersigned delegates and read. Can I read that part?
Yes.
Articles of Confederation and permanent union among the states of New Hampshire,
Massachusetts.
Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Alright, so kind of something that's very subtle, but it's very key to understand there. You see as it says Articles of Confederation and permanent union among these states, not the colonies. Like we pointed out earlier, colonies were under England's rule. The states are now their own independent. And like we said, there's the 13 states right there. In case you forgot, it should be a little bit of a refresher for you, alright? Article 1, the new nation will be called the United States of America. Why is this so significant to explicitly state this? Anyone? Exactly. Very simple. We just became separate from England. Now we kind of need a name. We're going to be called the United States of America. Alright? Article 2. All states are independent from one another. The state governments will retain all powers that are not specifically given to the National Congress. What kind of jumps out at you right here? What seems significant? Governments. How about the word independent? Right there it says all states are independent from one another. Why would that word independent be significant? Anyone? Someone take a guess. Good.
Saying that they're each their own little place themselves, so that they have, so they're not just one big bundled up piece of land.
Exactly. Exactly. Like we just went over in the PowerPoint, it had a weak national government, so the state powers were more. Like the state governments were more. So they wanted to have stronger state governments where they could be independent from one another versus not. You know what I'm saying? And then the state governments will retain all powers that are not specifically given to the National Congress. Look how long this actually is. It's only 13 articles. So it's not really that long. So anything that's not given to national goes to the state. Alright? And so that leaves national government very weak.
Can I make an example of that?
Mhm.
For example, at school, the principal gives us certain rules we have to tell you guys to follow. Right? You have to be here at 8:15. You can leave at 3:15. There are certain school rules, and that would be like the national government's power. The principal does not make every single rule for this school building. There's no way he could. Because is my classroom different from Miss Davis's classroom? Is my classroom different from Miss Vincent's classroom? Yes, so the rules that the principal doesn't give, who is in charge of making those? The teacher. So the teachers would be like what in our example? The states, because the principal is like the national government. He gives us certain rules that we have to follow, and everything else is left up to the teachers or up to the states to decide. Okay? Good job.
Alright, on to Article 3. The states agree to maintain friendly relationships. They will defend one another in times of trouble and protect their shared liberties and mutual welfare. Ooh, welfare. That was a rough one. Alright, so what's significant about this one? Protect? Welfare. How about the word friendly? Does that jump out at you? No? You didn't think back in this time that it would be weird for them to say friendly relationships? I thought it'd be weird. The fact they had to put in here specifically, the states agree to maintain friendly relationships. And so, say that one South Carolina gets attacked by a foreign nation. North Carolina can just sit there and be like, that's not really our problem, that sounds like more of a South Carolina problem, so we're just gonna stay over here and save our people. That's kind of doing South Carolina dirty, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yes, that's doing them dirty. Shake some heads? I got what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. And so they will defend one another in times of trouble and protect their shared liberties and mutual welfare. Does everyone get that one? It's pretty straightforward. They have to protect one another because they won't be leaving anyone out high and dry. Alright?
Think about it too. Where is African American slaves at?
South America.
South, not South America, the South. Are African Americans free in the North? Yes, so fundamentally the North and the South don't agree on the same thing. The North does not want slaves, the South does not want slaves to be free. But they still have to be friendly to one another. They still have to get along because they still belong to the same country. So we're going to have friendly relationships, even though we might not agree about the same things, we still need to be nice to one another. Your head's down, pick it up. You're good. You're looking at the actual document now.
Alright, who wants to read Article 4 for me? Someone other than Alexis. There you go. Thank you.
To maintain friendly relationships among the states, all free inhabitants can move along the states and conduct business therein without extra taxes. If fugitives from one state are living in another state, they should be sent back to face prosecution. All records and judicial rulings applying to individuals to one state shall be accepted by all other states.
Alright, so it's kind of ready to sound sentence by sentence. To maintain friendly relations among the states, all free inhabitants can move among the states and conduct business therein without extra taxes. Why is this important? Let's get someone from this table. Why would that be important?
Has anyone at that table ever moved before? Moved states before? Has anybody ever in this classroom moved states before? When you moved to state, was it okay for you to move? Or did you have to apply to the government to move? No? Could you just pick up yourself and go? Right. So you're allowed to move from one point to another point without being charged extra. Is that a good thing? Yes.
Alright. So next one, if fugitives from one state are living in another state, they should be sent back to face prosecution. Why is this very important? Get on some table 5.
Is that everything?
Why is that important?
What's a fugitive? A what? Okay, so someone who's in trouble is a fugitive. So read that again.
If fugitives from one state are living in another, they should be sent back to face prosecution. Why is that important?
So people can't just run to another state and then not get in trouble.
Exactly. So if I go to Tennessee, I commit murder, but I live in Kentucky, I just go back to Kentucky. Am I going to get away with that?
No.
No, I have to go back to Tennessee, face prosecution, be put in the Tennessee jail. That's where I committed the crime. That's all it's saying. All good? Everyone got that one? All right. All records and judicial rulings applying to individuals in one state shall be accepted by all other states. Why is this important as well?
So all states agree.
Exactly. Exactly. So if I get charged for something in one state, all states have to acknowledge I was charged. I have to carry on punishment no matter what state I'm in. All right. All right. So now you're gonna be working your groups. Your groups are at your table partners. All right. You're gonna be filling out the rest of this little activity sheet. You're gonna go through here, Articles 5 through 13. You're gonna put state powers to the left, national government powers to the right. But they're gonna be restating what the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation are in that bottom section right there. All right, any questions? No? Alright, let's get to it.
Good job, Alexis. Why are you looking at it?
How many
Just however many in there.
state government?
What can states? Well, you gotta work with the National Congress.
I think so.
Alright, so look,
This for national
state. That's the first government that we
have only one of those.
Why is that good if it's government international?
What? That's not what I wanted to know. No state. Oh, never mind. No state.
Let's say New York, in Canada, right? And Canada says, no, New York, I want to be.
I think we should start with the.
In New York.
Wait, which one are we supposed to start at?
No, because who is in charge of their more? The national government, so all 13 states are in Canada. New York can't go to war by itself, all 13 states. You can't go to one state. Okay, that's the first thing. Negotiate.
Okay, state government power, and you know that says nation will be called.
And I agree, you agree, we agree, a treaty, what is that called? We both agree to the So, to do a treaty, states
Isn't the
make
national Congress
treaties.
the national government?
The national government doesn't.
So that's our
So, you are tonight, the first national Congress. They go back through.
What is
They
that?
cannot find the state Congress from.
Wait, so like all states are independent.
We can make this the article. So it,
You'll find
government
more,
will retain all powers.
especially Article 9, which is special powers that have power. All
So,
those will go right here.
look here, especially Article 9.
All of them?
9 is the one that has
And
so you can pull out
that's
the
pretty
powers
much
from
all
Article
the
9.
national powers have. Or just those, just the state, just the.
Uh-huh.
For these would be right, and have to do all of that.
You're gonna just see in these articles, so let's look at Article 1. Does this have anything to do about individual states in Article 1? The new nation we call the United States of America? Nope. Okay. In Article 2, does it say something about states? All states are, okay, so you might put independent. The states are independent from one another. Okay? There will be some more with that too. All states agree to abide by the articles and the cities. They have to receive money from the national treasury in a proportion to the amount of land. So just break them down and in these, figure out what it says the states can do. your articles and see what the states can do in the articles. Because this one obviously gave away, right, what the national Congress do. Now the harder one is what the states do. States have more power, but states have more power than the national government. So figure out what individual states can do.
That second sentence. Every year, they say
State, yeah. So, and if you think back to what he said earlier, who has more power underneath the articles, national government or state government? Who has more power under the articles, national government or states? States do, individual states do. So, at first glance, it looks like the National Congress has a lot of things they can do. But now your job is to go and see what, because these 5 things or 6 things the national government can do, everything else belongs to the states. So what is it? How many votes does each state have? You don't know, okay. But how many people can they send? They can send up to 7, but each state only has 1 vote. Now, from that 1 vote, first we need to change how many people have to agree. Everybody. Is that going to be hard? Yes. So you say each state has 1 vote. That's who's able to say power.
No, he said that, right?
So you just go through those, and I said something that.
That's how I state
States agree to maintain.
This is all about like how what the states can do.
The states agree. You can do it.
So from the B, oh wait, to the S with 3 eyes.
Which state legislature
Yeah, I'm gonna say each state gets 1
Okay, look at Article 5 here. Every year, state legislatures send representatives to national
Oh, thank you for saying that the first time. Wow, it's really a wisdom and great idea.
We'll get back to that. Do this first. Every year, state legislatures will send representatives to the national congress. Each state shall send no less than 2, no more than 7. So your minimum is 2, your max is 7. And each state will have only 1 vote in Congress. So how many votes does each state have? There's 13 total, right? Because individually have 1, that's the state power. Individually, each state only has 1 vote in Congress. So take that one, if they at the beginning class and introduce it, how many states have to agree?
Canada will not be allowed.
All of them, is that gonna be hard?
A community of the state will be given the power to run the United States and time. Hey, here, right here. Look, right here.
I've got about another minute.
Start us off. I don't want to put the first one, all states have to agree. Pass that.
Alright, let's come back together real quick. So we're not gonna be able to go through all these today. So we'll have to save some for tomorrow. So let's go and go over the national powers today. Where could the national government powers be found? Now, where can you find them in the Articles of Confederation? Where are the national powers at? Which is Article 9, right? So everything listed to the national powers are under Article 9. Very explicit, but you can't find them anywhere else. So why would declare and wage war be something for the national power and not the state power? Go ahead. Exactly. You would have maybe possibly 13 different wars going on within the same area, which wouldn't be very good. So only the national government can wage war upon someone else. Make treaties. Why would this be a national power instead of state?
Because the state can give away their land to somebody else and make a treaty on that and not have anybody else's say so on that.
Exactly. So that's why it should only be a national power to make treaties. Because say that Georgia makes a treaty with someone else, but it's not in the best interest of the nation, that would be problematic, you know? Settle disputes between states. Why is that a national power?
Two states are fighting each other. Why should it be the government, national government's power to settle this versus the two states that are fighting? Now leave it until we answer.
Because if the two states that are fighting are gonna answer, then a lot of people are gonna get killed because most of the time that just goes to war.
Excellent.
Alright, I need the copies of the Articles of Confederation next hand before you pass out, please.
And then the copy of the articles, don't put it up. James, don't put it up. The articles. Thank you. See you tomorrow.